Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm gonna be talking about the new casting news that we have gotten for Scream 6. We just got a new member of the cast confirmed to be in Scream 6. His name is Thomas Cadrot. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. I can never pronounce any of these actors' last name properly for some reason, but yeah, he was confirmed to be in Scream 6, and we had found that out at the same time we had gotten this picture right here where it shows the Scream title and whatnot, basically confirming, I guess, that this will be the title, and it was on the little movie cassette, and yeah, basically we had gotten both of those information around the same time. And yeah, I just want to talk about him possibly what kind of character he can possibly play and what I think of this news so far. Um First off, I want to start off by saying that I think when it comes to Scream 6 characters, there's not much, you know, you can really pinpoint exactly when it comes to what exactly certain people are gonna play with their character. There's no exact, you know, there's no exact like accurate, theory that you can have to pinpoint exactly what actor is gonna play with their character. But you could speculate, and I feel like that's the most fun part about all this is just speculating. And I feel like with half of these characters that we have gotten confirmed for Scream 6, most of them we don't even know what they're gonna be. The only people that we know so far of what kind of character they'll play is Dermot Mulroney. We know he's gonna be a cop, and then who else? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think real quick. I'm trying. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Dermot Mulroney was the only new character that we had gotten introduced that we actually know anything about. Everyone else, we really don't know anything about. It's all basically just speculation. But yeah, basically, with this new character, there's all types of things you can speculate. I don't think I've heard anyone say this yet because, like, I have not seen this theory anywhere. But I was thinking that what if this is what if he plays Chad and Mindy's dad? Like, what if he's the father of Chad and Mindy, and he's a professor at their college, or he's like a detective, or something like that, and he's overprotective of Mindy and Chad, you know, and he would be like the husband of basically Martha Meeks, Randy's sister, and I feel like he would be I guess kind of like a fill-in void for Martha Meeks, since she's not going to be in Scream 6 because that the actress that plays her Martha, Heather Matarazzo, she basically confirmed that she's not going to be in the movie of Scream 6. So he could be a fill-in void for her, and he could play the the husband of her and the father of Mindy and Chad, and he can like you know have a somewhat significant role in the movie and whatnot. But I don't know. This I feel like it'll be interesting to see if he was actually the father of Mindy and Chad. I don't know exactly what role he would play, but I think he would be probably a professor or a cop, or maybe even just like I don't know. I feel like there's all types of things that he can be, but I feel like Professor and Cop is like the main things that I feel like he would probably be for some reason. I just feel like he just looks like he fits that role of like being a teacher or like a police officer. Like that's just how I feel. But yeah, I feel like that's a possibility that he can be the father of Mindy and Chad. Um, Maybe he's working with Dermot Mullarney in the sheriff's station, and he's like helping out in these investigations of all the crimes and like all the murder sprees done by Ghostface. Like, him and Dermot Mullarney could be working together, kind of like Mark Kincaid in Scream 3, where he had his partner, and they were like just both of them were working together in that movie. It could be something like that, and they could be Dermot and this character can be like a duo, just working together and trying to solve the the murder sprees and whatnot. But yeah, I think it would be cool to see, and it's fun to speculate. But yeah, I there's not much you can really speculate though. With a lot of these characters, it's like we have not known. We There's not much to pinpoint exactly what these characters are gonna be in the movie. Like, there's nothing exactly that you can pinpoint to anything that you could exactly say that they would be, what kind of character they would be in the movie. All you can do is just speculate a little bit, and that's really all it is. But um, another thing I want to talk about though is this right here, the supposed Scream title. Um, Basically, this was like on the set, and like someone took a picture of it, and it basically, it shows the Scream with the exclamation points, and yeah, I guess this is gonna be the actual Scream title and whatnot. And you know, I don't think I, touched on this as much before in my other video where I talked about it, but in the other video that I talked about this in, I basically said that we don't know if this title is the actual thing. We don't know if it's true or not. We don't know if there's a possibility that they would change it, or that you know this like I was just basically saying that we don't know anything, and that we're just going off of assumptions. But now that we have this picture right here, I feel like this kind of confirms that at this point, this is the title for Scream 6. It's Scream. And yeah, basically, I just want to give my thoughts and feelings on this, and give my opinions. I have kind of like I would say like a 50-50 feel on this. More so of like, I feel like in a way, the in a way, I would say it's like it's cool to see, because I feel like you know it's better than a lot of the other titles that I have seen people think of or like say. Like, there's like so many I would say like so many like weird titles that I saw people think of, and like they were like, oh, they should have this as a title. And I was just like, I don't know. But yeah, I think this honestly is better than a lot of what I've seen. But however, I feel like you know it would have been better if they would have, you know if they would have just had it be called like Scream 6. Like, and I know a lot of other people share that same feeling as well. Like, they feel like it should have just been called Scream 6. But at the same time, I understand why they wouldn't call it Scream 6 because the last movie, they called it just Scream, and it was basically just Scream 22. But everyone obviously called it Scream 5, but that's what the title was. And like yeah, it was basically the same the same exact thing where like they they had these like um they had these like little subliminal things as their title and whatnot. And yeah, I think that with Scream 5, I honestly, in my opinion, I don't mind that they had it just called Scream or Scream 22 because I feel like, you know, from what I've heard, if you have um like I said, this is just from what I heard. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that, there was like studies that were shown that like have proven that whenever you have like a title in your movie and it's basically just like a number or like shown to be like a sequel of another like of basically showing that it's a continuation of another movie, then a lot of people apparently it just draws a lot of you know people's attention away from it. It like steers them away from it because then people start to feel like they have to watch all the movies just to catch up to the one that they're at now, and it like kind of you know it makes people not want to watch the new movie, and it like lowers a lot of you know money that these studios can possibly get because the fans felt like they needed to catch up to all the movies just to watch the one that they're at now. So, you know, and apparently that's the reason why Scream 4 did not make as much money because around that time there was a whole bunch of reboots and a whole bunch of remakes, and you know they basically just had the original title as you know as their new title for their new movie, and they basically Scream 4 took that route of just having it be called Scream 4 instead of having it be called Scream. And it kind of drew some people's attention away from the movie because they felt like they needed to catch up to all the three Scream movies before they can finally watch Scream 4. And that's why it made like less money. Like, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is just from what I've heard. And if that's the case, then I feel like it makes sense that they would call Scream 5 just Scream 2022, you know? So that way, you know, it won't it won't make them less money from just casual everyday fans who are, just wanting to watch the movie instead of having to feel like they have to watch all the other movies to watch them. But yeah, but Scream 6 though, I felt like, you know, honestly, with Scream 6, um, the title, I would say, is more of something I felt was more important than with Scream 5. Because, like I said, with Scream 5, I didn't mind that they called it Scream 2022. But with Scream 6, I felt like they should have just called it Scream 6. And even though that feels kind of like an error, I feel like it would just make more sense overall because I feel like it kind of like, you know, I feel like at that point, the casual everyday fans would know that the last movie was obviously Scream 5 and it would, be a continuation from the last movie and all the other movies. So, I feel like it would just make sense to call it just Scream 6, But at the same time, I don't really care. Like, if they wouldn't have called it Scream Six, then another title they could have used is probably, maybe something like just like something similar to like Halloween with the new trilogy where they had like the original, Halloween 2018. It was just called Halloween, and then the sequel was called Halloween Kills, and then the sequel after that, Halloween Ends. Like subliminal titles like that for the sequels. That's what they should. I feel like that's what they could have done for the Scream movies. Like they could have had like some type of like, you know, like some kind of like title like that. Like it didn't even need to be Scream Six. It could have just been like Scream Scream arises, something like that. I'm not actually being for real, but just that's just an example. Like, they could have had some type of like subliminal title that they could have used for like just the sequel of Scream 5, and I felt like that would have been cool to see. And then, like, yeah, it would have been cool to see. But I mean, like I said, with the Scream title being this with the two exclamation points. I know a lot of people are not gonna like this. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you should have just called it Scream Six. Why would you do this?" Like, and all. But me personally, it doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, like the casual everyday fans at this point should just know that this is the sixth movie. Like, when you look at the other franchises, it's even more confusing because they have like so many movies and so many reboots and remakes and different, stories that are being told and all this stuff. So, in other franchises, it's way more confusing. And there's literally three Halloween movies that are just called Halloween, and there's um two Friday the 13th movies that are just called Friday the 13th, and then it's the same with the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Like, um, there's just so many like different stories and timelines and reboots and all this stuff and all these other horror franchises, and it's way more confusing with them compared to with Scream, where there's literally only six movies. At this point, you would know that this is the sixth entry in the franchise, regardless of what the title is. So that's why. Oh, look, I got the notification that Killjoy Jake he's talking about the title and filming and rapping in this October. Wow. Killjoy Jake and me both had this idea in around the same time. But I'm still making it right now, obviously. I still have to upload it. But yeah, I think that was so unexpected. But I could only imagine that Killjoy Jake is gonna be like, oh my gosh, like why would they put this as the title? They should have just called it Scream Six. But like I said, there's only six movies in this franchise. How would it be that confusing to know that this is just Scream Six? Even for the casual everyday fans who are just wanting to go see a horror movie, all you have to do is just look up the Scream movies and see how many there are, and you'll see that this is the sixth movie because there's only six. There's not like 14 movies. It wouldn't be that confusing. So, you know, I've heard people say that a lot where like, oh, this would be confusing to a casual everyday horror fan. Like if they want to go see this movie, they're gonna be like, oh, you want to go see this movie called Scream with two exclamation points? Then their friend or whatever is gonna be confused. Like, what do you mean? And then they would be like, oh, Scream Six. This is the sixth film in the franchise, and they would be like, and they would just like maybe look it up, and then they would see that this is the sixth entry because there's only six movies. So I don't know. People say it would be confusing for the casual everyday fans, horror fans, who are just wanting to go see a horror movie. But at the same time, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like whatever. I mean, you're always gonna have casual everyday horror fans watching horror movies everywhere, you know? So it's like even if they are confused by it, whatever. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. But like, I mean, I literally watched, you know, like Pretty Little Liars, for example. That TV show, the new one right now. I only watched the the new show that we have right now. I never watched the previous ones, but I was told I didn't have to, and I just, I watched the new show, and it's pretty easy and simple to understand. And I'm just a casual everyday fan of that show so far, but I'm enjoying it. And I didn't watch the original series, but I still enjoyed the new show, and it wasn't confusing for me to understand that this is a new show and this is not like the original series. Like I know that. So I feel like even the casual everyday fans of, horror, they should know that if something is like if something is like the same of something else, or if it's different. Like, I feel like it's pretty easy to differentiate, but that's just my opinion though. I feel like would it have been better for them to just call it Scream 6? Yeah. I agree with that. I do. I do feel like it would have been better. But at the same time, I don't really mind. I mean, it's just whatever. But that's just my opinion though. Um, like me personally, I don't really care what the title is. As long as it's not like something like too over the top, then I don't really care, to be honest. But yeah, like I wouldn't necessarily even say that this is Scream 2 neither. It's literally Scream with two exclamation points. And maybe you can say it's Scream 2 with like Roman numerals, or like, or something like that. But at the same time, I think it's just Scream with two exclamation points. But it could be both. I don't know. But that's just the way I see it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about everything I said in this video. I know I'm probably gonna have some people disagree with what I said, like about the casual everyday fans being confused, and and with the whole like me not caring that Scream 6, that the title is not Scream 6, and I don't really care what the title is. I know people are gonna disagree with that, but I mean it's fine. I mean it's whatever. But yeah, I don't really care what the title really is, to be honest. Like I said, I feel like it's pretty easy to know, regardless of what a title is in a franchise. If It's pretty easy to know entry, what number entry that movie is in, with just a quick search of the franchise, and then you could easily see that this is the sixth entry in the franchise. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it would have been better if it was called Scream 6, and maybe it would have probably been even better if they would have just called, Scream 22, Scream 5. But at the same time, it doesn't bother me as much. I don't really care. But let me know what you guys think. What are your guys' opinion? Um, and yeah, I'm gonna be covering probably more news on Halloween if we get more news. And yeah, I'm just gonna be chilling here. You guys know I cover everything, so that's basically, I'm always here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.